But I wanted something which was smaller and lighter and easy to transport, didn't require an army of slaves to move from place to place. So in response to that, I had the opportunity to use a jib, a commercial jib on the shoot. Not an expensive one, but an inexpensive one. It was a ladder type. And I liked that idea, so I decided to build one of those and try to make it simpler. And here's that jib. It has a number of advantages, although it is a bigger jib one. It's about 8 feet total length and about 5.5 feet reach from the pivot to the camera. But it has the advantage that it breaks down into 2 sections, about 4 feet apiece. It's made of wood. This is poplar here. It's very light. Can make up any stairwell, up through any doorway, into any room that you want to shoot in. It also can use any tripod. You can see here, this is just an old Gitzo that I had around the house, but no modifications to the tripod other than removing one handle, and just a 1/4-20 bolt through there, and voila, as the French would say. Weights, again, those are Walmart specials. We also have, on this particular instance, the C-clamp you see here is not holding those pieces together. It's a counterweight. It's for fine balance for the system. I use C-clamps typically for that. I'll get the camera set up and get a rough balance with the weights in the back, and then the position of C-clamp along the spar, whether it's the single spar or double spar type, to achieve the best balance. And the best balance you determine by giving it a slight nudge upwards and downwards. And if it goes the same velocity upwards and downwards, it's a pretty good balance. So this guy is pretty close, as you can see. This little tap does that. Oh, and these white clips, by the way, these are for cables. When you have a camera out here at the end of your jib, you can't really tell what it's looking at. So you typically have some cables and a remote monitor. So these clips are to allow you to run the cable down the side of the jib to where your monitor is mounted. And a good place for your monitor would be here. This one doesn't have a place to mount it yet, but I can add one. The original jib also has clips down the side. I just didn't show them to you. This also has the magic stick, which moves the camera bracket back and forth. And if you want to simulate a simple pantograph jib, you simply hold this in place and give the thing a nudge, and then that little piece stays level. So that's one of the things I'm going to add here, is a way to hold this in place so we can fix that, hold that angle if you want to. It's funny, I originally had this jib with a fixed horizontal angle, and then everybody wanted up and down, up and down, up and down. So I made one that was up and down, and the first thing they asked for was, can I fix that in place? So just points out you have to be flexible. Let's see, the two halves are bolted together here. It's a simple bolt with a wing nut on the outside. The only tool required to assemble it is a small crescent wrench. The handles here are for carrying it when it's broken down into 2 pieces. The handles are located at the balance point of each individual piece. So even the wimpiest PA can carry those. This jib, the day after it was painted, was used in a video shoot up in San Francisco about a week ago. This is the one element which is a little kludgy. It's just a piece of 2x4 with metal brackets going to the wheels here. This is again the garage door wheel, and another one down there. And realistically, this whole bracket should just be a piece of steel that's bent, but don't have the means to be able to bend a piece of steel that would be thick enough, the appropriate thickness. So for now, this is a bit of a kludge. But that's the nice thing about building these things yourself, is you can always change them. See that there's a little problem with, not quite as, this is not quite as stable as the big jib. Probably think there's a